Greetings, everyone. My name is Amanda, and welcome to my first episode of Summon Player 2. I am playing a game called Assassin's Creed 2 with my friend Sean. This was actually Sean's pick, and after going through a list of games that he absolutely loves, he settled on this one. So, what was the deciding factor?
I whittled it down to this because I think that of the games that I love, this one is the one that put me most in the atmosphere. There's a lot of really good games out there, but this one gave me a place in time and space to be at the same time.
And it's Renaissance Italy, so how could you not love the setting? It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's super romantic in that way that you get this period in time that pretty much anyone who's gone to school is forced to learn about at some point or another. Can't go through an educational experience without coming across Renaissance Italy, and this gives you a chance to be a part of the Italian Renaissance in a very tangible way, in an action hero type of way too, which was fun, which was something that drew me to this game.
I actually played this game a couple years ago. I didn't finish it, but I did get through a good portion. I really enjoyed the story, the setting. I really liked exploring everything, which is something that you kind of have to do when you're playing this game.
Oh, most definitely. That's part of the reason that this game is so appealing to me is because it gives you a big open space to run through, and there's main points that you have to go through to complete the story, of course, but they give you plenty of activities that can keep you busy and keep you engaged in the landscape. Give you makes the environment immersive, so you're not tied to, oh, I can only go down this street and this street and this street because that's what the creators built in. They really give you a big zone and let you play all throughout it. And they encourage you to find the dark corners and the highest heights and the places to see on your own.
Yeah, definitely. The two of us have talked a lot about the main character, why he's so interesting, and he kind of starts out as this kid who just likes to do his own thing. He gets into fights, gets into trouble, but he's still a good kid. And some stuff happens where he ends up needing to get revenge for some bad things that happened to him and his family. So his character develops as you go along, and he ends up becoming an assassin.
Yeah, it's an interesting progression to watch his motivations change, but it's nice to see that not only solely driven by rage and anger and revenge, he still maintains personhood, which is a cool thing. They really just give you a real human. He doesn't become this sort of superhuman vigilante hero. He's definitely still just a guy.
Yeah,
And they don't let you forget that he is just a person in time and space.
everybody knows an Ezio.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. I know that you said that you first got in this game in high school and you kind of played it with your sister a lot.
Yeah, so I picked up this game in high school. Probably, I guess it was my senior year, and I just recently switched schools. My sister and I both ended up going to a different high school together, and we were both feeling a little new to the space. And
Mm-hmm.
so we spent a lot of time together, 2 years apart, but still looking for time to hang out together and feel comfortable. And so this time period was enough to convince my sister, who's not much of a gamer, into playing this game because she said, "All right, Italy in the Renaissance, you got me." So we played this game hard, and it became a good experience for both of us. We got to spend a lot of time together doing this.
I know you were saying too that your sister and you have different playing styles, so you kind of learn that through this game.
Yeah, definitely. This has been an exercise in learning about self in a way that kind of took time. At the time that I was playing, I didn't learn any of this, but now, thanks to Summon Player Two, I've got a chance to reflect on this a little bit. And yeah, hanging out with my sister and playing this game, I'm the type to run straight in and start punching and fighting and sprinting, and that's the way that I like to engage in this risk-free environment. My sister still plays pretty cautiously, likes to avoid conflict and hides, and it would frustrate me to no end to watch her daintily skip around buildings and try and avoid fights with people and use smoke bombs to get away from. I'd be like, oh my god, just kill him. You've got
Yeah.
you've got knives and swords and stuff, and she'd run. And so it was a learning experience that way for sure.
I've kind of seen that about you from watching you play the game because you've been like scaling all the buildings and like you drop down, you accidentally kick somebody in the face, immediately punch them and knock them out, run away again.
Yeah, yeah. Well, moving around in this environment, you can go as fast as you want and unapologetically run into people and keep moving. So I just let myself be a streak. And Ezio has infinite stamina, which
It's
is,
amazing.
yeah, it's a shame that we don't have that in real life because he just sprints and sprints and
He
sprints
is a
and jumps and
human
sprints.
wonder.
Yeah, yeah. So no, stop. I run into someone, knock over their stuff, and keep moving. It doesn't phase me. Jump off a huge building into a bale of hay. It doesn't phase me. Just keep sprinting. That's
Yeah, you
my
could totally
philosophy.
jump into a bale of hay from the top of a cathedral in real life.
That's that is how this game has led me to think, and so I typically jump off cathedrals into bales of hay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow, that's interesting.
gotten pretty good at it.
I think another interesting aspect of this game is that you actually have this sci-fi backstory that you kind of forget about. Ezio is actually well, he's the main character because you spend the most time with him, but there's like another main character who is actually living through his ancestor's life
Right. So
and seeing what he's doing kind of in a matrix type way.
right. So the story revolves around Ezio, but Ezio is a memory from Desmond, who is our main character behind the scenes. And Desmond is involved in his own trouble in the 21st century. So right now, this is Desmond remembering Ezio's life via the help of science. So you get this
Science.
alternate reality where this all occurred, and they're trying to use the advantage of having these memories to train Desmond to be an assassin in the 21st century by living the experiences of his assassin trained relative.
And every time you go back to Desmond, it's sad to say you forgot that he was there because you're so immersed in the Renaissance that you're like, wait.
Yeah, I didn't really love playing Desmond's portion of the game as much as it's fun and exciting and it's weird and sci-fi. Renaissance Italy was where I wanted to be.
Yeah, it is the place to be. It's where all the cool kids are at.
Yeah, well, and they give you more, like, they give you a whole bunch of Italy too. It's not just, we'll do a city or two. You're in Milan, you're in Florence, you're in Venice. They take you all over the place and let you engage in this time.
And that's pretty cool too. I think I got up to a point where you end up escaping into a different city. So it's not like you're stuck in the same place the whole entire game. You kind of get to it's almost like constant exploration.
Yeah, and you can go back and forth between the places. And in fact, it's encouraged and required to travel between locations because they give you a bunch of quests that you can do that are accessory to the main plot. So you can bounce around seeking specific items and hunting down this and trying to make money so you can get better stuff. So going back and forth between locations permits you to get more out of the game.
I think it is 100% the perfect game for somebody who is an explorer by nature.
The kind of game that you can play aimlessly in the sense that you don't have to be hunting the plot and like you don't have to play this game for a specific purpose every time you pick up the controller. You can play this game because you feel like running around and climbing, or you can play this game because you want a sense of accomplishment and to collect some riches. You can do whatever you want, or you can play because you want narrative and you can seek a good story.
It's kind of neat that you get all of these things and you could kind of pick, okay, today I'm just going to climb the tallest building, or today I'm going to advance the plot. So I like a game with kind of a good combination of that because then it makes it easier to go through it. Like you don't really get as bored with it.
No, I would echo that sentiment. It kept both me, the speed demon, get me through this achievement oriented kind of player entertained while keeping my sister, who needs story, needs context, needs depth, engaged as well. Because you can approach historical landmarks and read about their significance. You can meet real historical figures and hear about their significance. Leonardo da Vinci, we mentioned already, becomes
Right.
your BFF, but beyond that, there's tons of other characters that you come across, notably the Medici family.
Yes.
You become a benefactor of their goodwill, and you can use their influence to your own benefit later in the game.
That's really cool because you have these prominent figures in history, but then there are also other people that you don't realize who they are at first. But then when you read the information on them, you're like, "Oh wait, this was a real person." So, it just gives you a sense that so much went into this game beyond just the fictional part.
Yeah, it's nice to know that the folks who were working on this really wanted to develop a space that was accurate, explorable, but still open to interpretation. You get real history, you get real locations and events, but then at the same time, it's yours, your relationship to it as you explore the character of Ezio.
Now, I know you've played other Assassin's Creed games. Are there any others that really have become favorites of yours?
Just recently finished Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I would definitely recommend that game. It's a blast. Close second to this one. You get to be a pirate in the Caribbean in Black Flag, and there's nothing like sailing to the Isle of Tortuga and feeling like you're Jack Sparrow.
How could you
Um,
beat that?
right. The only way that you could beat it is with Ezio Auditore, the Italian assassin, who's best friends with Leo da Vinci. Like, what? I couldn't ask for more than this. Scaling buildings that are ornate and magnificent. And the Caribbean, they're working with straw huts and sugarcane and like small buildings. So it's not as exciting for me in terms
Right.
of the architectural or historical component, but it was definitely fun in terms of the exploration and the rebellious lifestyle. And the character that you get to know in Black Flag is also excellent.
Well, thank you so much for doing this first episode with me, and I really enjoy talking to you about this.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for inviting me, and thanks for taking the time to learn a little bit about my favorite game.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time on Summon Player 2. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.